Hi, everyone. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you're joining us from. I'm Rasha Khan, and I'm your host for today's webinar. And I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. Would love to know where are you joining us from? So I'm just putting down my introduction on the chat here, whether you're an early bird or a night owl. Thank you for being here, and let's kick off this meeting and webinar. And what you can do is we can utilize the time by doing introductions on the chat here. So you can introduce yourself on the chat here. Let us know your name. I'm just putting down my introduction here, and you can let us know your name and let us know where are you joining us from. So putting that here on the chat as well. So I see the number is increasing, and we are also live on our YouTube channel as well. So a lot of folks who have joined us on our YouTube channel, you can also let us know your introduction and where are you joining us from on the YouTube live chat box. I see folks who have joined us there as well. I see Manjiro has joined us from India in YouTube, and here I see Sucharita has. I would love to know where are you joining us from, and I see Vahid says hi. Would love to know where are you joining us from. Hashi from Mumbai, India. Amit says hello. Khushi has joined us from Delhi, India. Darshan from Mumbai, India. Pratik from Nagpur, and a lot more introductions coming in. Please keep the introductions coming in. And before we start the session today is a free career masterclass on the topic product manager's role, breakdown, skills, career path, and salary. So we have a very interesting session lined up for you. We will be focusing on breaking down the product manager's role and sharing with you how we can progress, through a product manager's career path. And also we have a program preview lined up, followed by that, the UC San Diego Product Management Program. And we'll be covering that program and also taking you through how exactly this program helps you become a product manager after basically once you're done with the program. And yeah, like build a portfolio, how exactly the learning path looks like, what is the learning environment of the program from Simplilearn, what exactly we provide, all these things. Before that, I'll just quickly take you through the few quick ground rules we have here for the session. But before I start, I would want to know, is my voice clear and audible to you? So you can just let me know by replying yes or no in the chat. And also keep the introductions coming in. Sorry to interrupt. I see introductions are coming. Awesome, awesome. Just doing a quick check here. And hopefully my screen is also visible to you. And if it's not visible, you can let me know if you're facing any issues. So ground rules here are quick and easy. This is to make sure that you have an amazing experience during the webinar. So in case you have any question for our experts here, Nathan Owens and Suryansh Choudhary, you can put down your questions in the Q&A box. And the session is being recorded in case you want to go through the recording of the session once again, in case you missed anything. Please don't worry, you can expect a follow-up email from us over your mail within 24 to 48 hours from post-webinar. And there will be a webinar certificate also for attending the webinar. What you can do is you can fill your basically full name on the webinar certificate poll, which will be launched. And moving on to the agenda of today's session. So the agenda of today's session, starting with the first and the most important agenda, is about you, getting to know a little bit about you, how we can help you out in your product manager career better. And then we'll be covering the career masterclass for the product manager roles breakdown and the skills, the career paths, and the salary in the comparison here and the breakdown. And then we'll move on to the product management professional program by UC San Diego, what exactly this program offers, how exactly this program gets you future ready, and also sharing with you a few learner outcomes. And based on the interest you share towards enrollment into the program, we'll be quickly taking you through the enrollment steps of the program. And last but not the least, the Q&A. So the Q&A is for the questions we'll be putting down in the Q&A box. As you can see, we have a little, high chat volume here. So we actually might miss your questions if you put down a question now, and basically whenever the experts get time, they will look into your question. So it will be really helpful if you basically moved into the Q&A. And keep the questions related to the webinar. That will be really helpful for us. Moving on to the next slide. Now that we have seen that, folks have already introduced yourselves on the chat here. So we would love to also know that how many years of experience do you currently have? Interestingly, folks who join us, they actually join us from, from different parts of the world. And they also come from diverse set of experiences as well. So let me just quickly launch this poll. So sorry. I think I just got cut off. Yeah, I'm just launching the poll now. I hope I'm audible now.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm just launching the poll. I think it should be visible now. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, it just popped up.
Perfect. Yes.
So sorry, some tech issue. Awesome. I see most of you have already started responding on the chat here as well. Thank you so much for that. We'll be looking into the chat as well. So yeah, you can see 4 options here. You can select the option which is the most suitable to you. And the first one here is less than 2 years. Second one, 2 to 5 years. Third one is 6 to 10 years. Oops, there is a typo here. Instead of 10, it is 1. I'm so sorry, but you can consider it 6 to 10 years if you're voting for it. And the fourth one here is more than 10 years. So I see most of you have already started responding to the poll. Let's give it 10 seconds more. I see a few interesting questions, which have already started coming in on the chat here. You can, move those questions to the Q&A box. That will be really helpful, for our expert speakers, because they'll be looking into the basically Q&A box for addressing your questions. So, awesome. Last 5 seconds for the poll here. How many years of experience do you currently have? I see most of you have responded. So last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks and our speakers here. So let's see, what have you voted for? 31% of you have more than 10 years of experience. Interesting. 8% of you have 6 to 10 years, and 27% of you have 2 to 5 years, and 33% of you have less than 2 years of experience. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That definitely gives us and our speakers an understanding, how they can also tailor the responses accordingly during the flow of the session. Now, I would quickly like to introduce you to our speaker here, Nathan Owens, who is the Associate Director of Strategy Initiatives at UC San Diego Extended Studies. And also he's been with a division of Extended Studies since 2001 and working in a variety of roles. And he also is an alumnus of UC San Diego, 1995 batch. Nathan, welcome and a very good morning to you. It's always a pleasure hosting you. I have tried introducing you, based on the experience we have here, but I'm pretty sure it's much more diverse than this. So would you love to share with the audience about yourself and about your experience?
Sure. Thank you very much, Rasha. And hello to everybody who's joining us today to learn a little bit more about the manager career path and this program. So as Rasha said, I've worked here at UC San Diego for 23 years now, starting off doing lots of different stuff, some of it that had nothing to do with higher education. A lot of it involved doing actual consulting type projects around innovation and entrepreneurship. But that evolved into developing customized programs for clients. And so my job actually involves some product management type functions and responsibilities. I also am currently working with our corporate education team. So we do a lot of contract work for either small companies, large companies. They can be local here in San Diego or around the world. And then I also help develop new partnerships, such as the one that we have here with Simplilearn. So I'm really thrilled to be part of it and very happy that you're joining us today to hear more about product management and what it all involves.
Thank you so much, Nathan, and welcome once again. And moving on to our expert speaker here, Suryansh Choudhary. Suryansh, a very good evening to you, and would like to welcome you to the Career Masterclass. We have an interesting session lined up today. But before that, let me just quickly introduce you. So Suryansh here is a former product owner at Accenture. He's headed teams in tech and edtech sector, and he's a seasoned trainer at Simplilearn, entrepreneur and trainer for business schools as well. He has 5+ years of corporate and product training experience as well. Suryansh, I think I'm pretty sure the audience would love to know a little bit about you as well before we start the session.
Sure. Thank you so much, Rasha. I hope my audio and video both are going perfectly fine, right? Sure. Thanks. Hello, learners. Hope you're doing well. I've got good experience working as a product manager, and I would highly recommend, based on the responses that I get from your work experience, I would highly recommend you consider this as a career, because from my experience, I can tell you it is equally challenging and rewarding. All right, I'll give you few examples as we proceed. But as of now, this is what I would like to say. I've been a part of tech teams in education sector. I've been part of different industries. We'll cover that in the coming time, but happy to be over here.
Thank you so much, Suryansh. Moving on to the topic today, the Career Masterclass topic, Product Manager Roles Breakdown, Skills, Career Path, and Salaries. Starting with who exactly is a product manager? I think we have already gotten a question in the Q&A box about that as well, with a comparison of project manager. Usually.
All right, Rasha, can I take that up now?
Sure.
Sure. Learners, let me ask you a very quick question. Have you heard of this amazing product that we use? Any one of these? Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. I hope everyone present in this particular call over here would have heard or would have used these products. Yes or no, learners? Just quickly give me yes or no in the chat box, right? Now, let's consider this scenario. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Harshi. Let's consider this scenario that today we have got, let's say, Wahid from Saudi, who is, let's say, pretty good in tech. Then we have got Anthony, who is, let's say, a marketing person. And we have got Amira, who is, let's say, from the finance. She takes care of the budgets and all, and we've got Rasha who takes care of the recruitment part, right? Now, to build a product, let's say like WhatsApp, you need all of these functions. You need to sell it, you need to build it, you need people to build it, and obviously you need one person who could be the one heading this particular product, because that person would solely be responsible if the product is successful or there are some issues with the product. He is the one who holds the accountability for everything and anything that happens. It could be data privacy issues, it could be monetization, it could be growth. So you appear as the face of that particular product. Now, this means that you will have to have knowledge of tech. You don't need to be a coder. So if you believe that you need to be a coder, an engineer, a tech person, you don't need to do that. You will be interacting with the tech team. You will be interacting with, let's say, marketing, finance, recruitments, and of course, since it's a product which involves people, their data, you'll also be asked to work with legal teams. Therefore, this is an overview of what a product manager does. He is the face of the product and he heads all the functions that are related to the product. It could be launching a new feature, it could be having issues from customers, it could be, let's say, having some regulatory filings, it could be some fines, it could be, let's take a simple example, that the feedback that the users are giving, is it same as it was expected or something new has come up? So that's overall the definition of a product manager. You're responsible for the product, and moreover, learners, you're responsible for the execution. So the word is clearly mentioned over here that execution, the teams will work, yes, but the responsibility of execution lies with you. And of course, the reason why the product exists, the reason why WhatsApp exists, you must be very well clear in your head before you go ahead and implement it. So therefore, the strategic impact that you have is immense. Over to you, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for explaining that very nicely. Now moving on to the product manager career path. So as we can see, there are so many product manager profiles here. Some one can progress through. So maybe you can shed some light on this career
Sure,
path before we
sure.
move
Thanks,
on.
Rash. Sure. Learners, I'll consider this particular slide and I'll relate it with my journey. So I passed out of my university, and the moment I passed out, I was recruited at Accenture and I worked as associate, or you could say junior product manager. Wherein, as we'll see in the roles when they'll be elaborated as we proceed. So usually you join as a APM or a junior product manager or associate product manager with responsibilities, as you'll see in the coming slides. They're good enough for you to learn, not something, let's say, very responsible related work, but yes, good enough to learn. Usually it takes an year or so, and then you move to a product manager where you actually start implementing things. And then, of course, once you've got good enough experience, you head separate product managers, wherein your job is to ensure that these people learn and get the job done. You don't interact in the execution as it used to be earlier. And then obviously when you proceed to director of product or product leader or chief product officer, your majority of the work revolves around monetization, finance, budgets. Let's say if you're supposed to recruit a high level person, or let's say you're launching a new feature, but It has never been tested before in the market. That's where it is more of strategic, it's more of vision based work that comes up. We'll elaborate these roles as we proceed. Rasha, we can go to the next one.
So yeah, this is a good question, right, for them. So we just have a quick question. Which skill set do you think is the most important for becoming a product manager? So how they can respond is they can share it on the chat, Suryansh, right, in 1 or 2 words.
Perfect. Learners, based on what I've told you, that you're supposed to be the in charge of the product, and you work with 5, 7 different teams at a time. So what do you think could be the most important skill required for a product manager? Excellent answer. Collaboration works well. Communication, absolutely right, Pratik. It involves around 80% of your job on a daily basis. Analytical skills works well. Team building, that's great. Decision making, great. What else? What else? Leadership, of course. You're leading a team of, let's say, if you're working as a product manager, you will roughly have a team of about 15 to 20 working with you, right? This could vary organization to organization, but roughly 15 to 20 would be the size. Customer interaction to understand the product. Sales, all right, great. Thank you. I think we'll take 10 or 5 more seconds, Rasha, for more responses. Product analysis, perfect. Vision with the market, requirement understanding, critical thinking, great. Keep on adding, learners. We still got 5 more seconds. Innovation. All right, that's great. Next, I think we'll take one more answer. Thanks, Divya. People management. All right. Thank you, Priyanshu. Thanks. Rasha, we can go to the next one. Now, learners, as you know, we were just looking at the poll, how many years of work ex you all have. Let me ask you a quick question. Learners, Rasha, let's ask them a quick question, and learners need to respond in the chat box. All right. The question is, could you tell me in one word which industry you're from? Or what's your background? Let's say I saw someone is from BFSI background. So great. Khushi is from Accenture. Great. You could tell me at tech. Great. Go ahead, learners. In IT, Shell. Perfect. What else? Pharma. Someone's from pharma. Someone's from construction, financial, fin crime, marketing, lawyer, quality assurance, operations, production. Great. Go ahead, learners. IT services. Thank you. We've got oil and gas. All right. Medical. All right. Automobile, agro, jewelry. Perfect. Thank you, learners. Thank you. Now, learners, just take a moment and look at the screen. We have divided these skill sets in 3 categories, right? Now, this may be a possibility, as we saw that someone is from Accenture or someone is from IT services background. They would definitely possess good knowledge about the technology stack, right? However, since they are from tech background, their knowledge pertaining to market research, their knowledge pertaining to, let's say, design thinking systems, wireframes may not be extensive. Similarly, let's take another example. Someone is, as mentioned, is from BFSI background, or let's say from finance background. They would have, let's say, not good enough knowledge on tech. That could be their Waterloo. That's the reason the way the skills are divided are such that any person from whatsoever background wishes to become a product manager, these skills can be embedded without prior background in tech. That's the reason we say that this particular field is open for people who may or may not be from tech background. I think we have covered very well with the teams that we will be working with. So when you're working with the tech team, you will be bombarded with terminologies like agile, somewhat related to AI ML, somewhat related to, let's say, product marketing. As at the same time, when the marketing team comes in the picture for the initial launch, they would request you, or they would ask for some kind of user journeys. You would ask them some kind of a research that the marketing team would have done. At that time, you may not be an expert, but you must have some knowledge of at least what they are saying. If they are saying that we are looking for a vendor, you must know that Nielsen could be one of the vendors. Similarly, when it comes to product development, these are mainly management related, let's say, skill sets, and they're pretty easy to acquire, and they're the most fun filled part, because I take many of the sessions to conduct, to impart these skills like wireframes and all. Therefore, these kind of skill sets easy to embed, and on a regular basis, as you only mentioned, sales, someone said people management, someone said communication. So all your skill sets will get covered as a part of a product manager. And depending on your background, you're going to have different values from each and every category. Over to you, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking up the skills which are required for a product manager. Moving on. to starting with the first career path for a product manager, which is an associate junior product manager.
That's great. Now, learners, let me just ask you a quick question. Again, we'll get back to the chat box, learners. You're going to respond over there. Could you give me one or two tasks that, let's say, when you join an organization, one or two tasks that you're roughly given? Let's say you're asked to have minutes of meeting, right? Let's say you could be asked to, make presentations on some data points, do some market research, right? So just quickly mention in the chat box one or two, let's say, different tasks that maybe you would have experienced as well as we saw in the chat. So go ahead and let me know one or two tasks that an employee just joining the organization would have to fulfill or would be asked to do. For example, the moment you join an organization, you will definitely not handle budgets and finance, right? If you're newly joined. So go ahead and tell me some of the tasks that you can think of. Let's say I'll write one to take minutes of meeting. Great. So we have got competitive analysis, we got presentation, we got solutioning. Look at SOPs, perfect, because first you must be aware of the SOPs, then only you can start acting. Great. Training, basic task prioritization, perfect. Thank you, learners. Now let's look at the screen. I'll tell you this from my own journey itself, learners. When I joined Accenture as a product manager, since I was fresh out of university and I did not have any work experience, the few responsibilities that were given to me: first, observe how the product manager is working, what all activities he is doing, what all responsibilities he has. At the same time, I was the one who was made to interact with users of our platform, so that first I get a good, let's say, rapport with them. Second, I get to understand their requirements better, because after a few months or a year, I would be the one who would be starting to implement their requirements. So I was interacting with 18 or 19 industries. They were tasked with providing monthly reports on how different industries in Accenture are performing. It could be related to, let's say, client visits. It could be related to, let's say, any POVs, or maybe we are having a small pilot runs of a tech something with, let's say, any retail outlet, could be Zara or anything. I was tasked to understand what work they do. And when they prepare these reports, when they sell Accenture products and services, when they showcase Accenture products and services during client visits, how do they do that? What all products do they decide to pitch in? That's where my journey started, and that's how I started learning on the job the roles of a product manager. Once this was done, it took me around 6 months. And then what happened? Can we go to the next slide, Rasha? Next, what happened? Now I knew how these people work and what are their requirements, right? This is where I got to finalize that, okay, we need a platform wherein these people can come. The platform will have all products and services made by Accenture for all industries. They can select which products or which service they would like to showcase. They can have artifacts related to video presentations, PowerPoints, or maybe any deployed project we have, so that they can show the live project when the client visits. Now I was aware of what these people do. Therefore, I was clearly able to define what this product should be doing. And that's when I was introduced with my product team, which was comprising of developers. That's how it began. So developers and I, when we started interacting, I was told that, just begin with the small implementation of patents on your platform. That's it. How do you implement patents? So we worked with the developer. So I worked with the development team, and we came up with an option of showcasing patents that Accenture's different industries have filed. This is how, let's say, in my career, I assumed the role of a product manager, starting with one small patents, defining what the product should do after understanding what the customer or what these industry folks really would like to do. Next slide, Rasha. And once we were good, once we had this patents getting implemented, I was in charge initially for the capital markets, banking, and insurance. So initially I was taking care. Once the patents were deployed, I was in charge of these three industries within Accenture. Then what happened? They saw that, okay, he's able to liaison well with industry folks. He's able to liaison well with the tech team, and he's, let's say, able to understand what the needs are, and he's able to clearly communicate. Learners, remember you mentioned communication as one of the skills. So easily able to communicate what developers need to know. All right. That's when they gave me a level up and they said, now Suryansh, you take care of all 18 industries. Now remember, working with one industry which has got three sub industries, capital markets, banking, insurance, now you're supposed to work with 18, 19. Your tech team has expanded, your users have expanded, and obviously as this goes, the scope of the platform also keeps on increasing. This is where your learning and your responsibility is increase. So okay, now I'm interacting with around 30 to 40 industry folks. How does it work in your industry? And you get to learn so much, because I really got to see in COVID, learners, how people who couldn't be at the refineries, the newly joined recruits who couldn't be at the refineries, we worked on a product wherein we created a gamification based learning environment for refineries, wherein you could literally see yourself stepping inside a refinery, looking at different functionalities there, looking at live railway tracks, or maybe or something that could be having an airport strip nearby. We literally created this kind of a product for learning for oil and gas newly recruits who couldn't go to the refinery. Now, this level of learning, this was a game changer because we developed this during COVID. Similarly, learners, this is where your responsibilities increase. You handle multiple products now. And taking care of the learning part, you're taking care of the earlier platform for all products and services, and now you have a bigger team. Now other projects also start approaching you. Hey Suryansh, why don't you work as a PM for us? We have got a team of APMs, you need to handle them. That's where your learnings of different industries grow exponentially. I started working on a chatbot that could be deployed on my Discover App platform where all Accenture products and services were there. So this is how, learners, your role now comes, and it depends on organization. For example, in Accenture, we were able to scale up very fast because of my team. So that's how you get in more of strategy part. Over to you, Rasha. Next one. This was something which usually is handled at the vice president level or the directors. So what happens, learners, at this level is they notice Suryansh is taking this kind of a responsibility. Let's say Rasha, or let's say Nathan is the director or vice president. They notice that okay, Suryansh is taking care of the responsibility, and they keep a regular touch with people like Suryansh. Okay, Suryansh, you're working on 3 products. All right. Okay, now based on the feedback that we got for that learning part, these things were told to us by the client. What's the status? Okay, you're also working on a chatbot implementation for Discover Eye, right? It has not got started. So what exactly went wrong, or what else you need? That's where you hold accountability directly with the client, and you take care of multiple product managers. You take care of the budgeting. Let's say you need extra resources. As a product manager, learners, you only have a budget and you have a team to handle. Whenever you need to expand, this is where these people come in. Directors, VPs, and CPOs, they at one point of time could be taking care of different product managers, and they drive. Let's say they told me once, I'll tell you another example. So Discover I had only products and services for Accenture. They said, Suryansh, when these people are working so hard and they're giving us updates every month in Excel, 18 to 19 industries, 30 to 40 people, they are sending Excel, updating Excel every, let's say, month, and it's a monotonous job, right? And they're giving us updates at the end of the month. What if I want to check what's happening in the first 10 days of the month? I can't do that. I have to wait till the end of the month, right? So Srinath, why don't you change this particular product wherein it becomes a command and control center for Accenture? That's great. I mean, you're building something wherein all users could live on a daily basis put in their updates of whatever clients came. Imagine the impact that it would have. Imagine the visibility that leadership would get. So these kind of decisions are taken at this level, and the implementation execution work is done by these senior product managers or the product managers. So you get away from execution, you get more into budgeting, you get more into strategies. Next slide, Rasha. All right. There are, learners, different organizations have different ways to categorize and speak. This was my journey that I told you at Accenture as a product manager. Now, there are other responsibilities, for example, product owner. Let's say one simple example I'll tell you. If I'm supposed to take, you know, requirements from 30 to 40 people from 18, 19 industries, I may not be someone who is available all the time to get this done, right? Maybe I could be working with, let's say, whatever feedback I've got, I would be communicating with the development team. Could be a possibility I'm not available. So many a times what we would do is we would hire something known as a product owner, only on, let's say, a weekly base, or maybe for an hourly or based on hourly basis, we would recruit someone from some other project that we need for 4 hours, and this person would extensively talk to all the users because he's hired only for this purpose. So he'll go, he'll notice, and the conversation that I would have for around half an hour or 1 hour, he would have for 3 to 4 hours. And that's when he would communicate that, Suryansh, what they told you actually resulted in this activity. So if they are telling you, Suryansh, that it is not only the client visit that needs to be counted, what they actually mean is there are 5 different types of sales that Accenture does. So you need to take into account all those 5 different pipelines when you're making this command and control center. Now, as a product manager, it is impossible for you to talk for 1 hour to 30 to 40 people, right? So this is where people like product owners come in the picture, and they help you out in specific task. Could be, let's say I'm, Rasha, let's say you're the product owner, and I tell you, Rasha, actually, you have seen the interaction, how it went. Why don't you do this? You have understood what all things need to be done, right? So quickly break down whatever the task is into small small subtask, so that it is easy for everyone to understand. I have to go in another call because I need to manage recruitment. So Rasha is already a product owner. She knows what the client wants because she was also part of part of the team. And what she does is she'll sit, jot down everything what needs to be done, break it down into subtasks in such a way that technical people or the, let's say, development team understands. So these kind of roles support the product manager's role. Over to you, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking us through the breakdown of product manager's role. Here, talking about the salaries as well. So, starting with an associate assistant product manager, you can earn up to 40K to 88K approx. With 0 to 2 years of experience. This is in dollars for US. And similarly, for in the India region, you can basically go for 500,000 INR rupees to basically 100,000 INR rupees, and then you move up towards the product manager career path, where similarly you can clearly see an upgrade here in the salaries here and the years of experience ranging from 3 to 5 years of experience, and then you move up to the senior product manager role, and you can earn up to 180K US dollars. And similarly, moving on to the group product manager's role, you can earn up to 45K dollars here. And then for a director product management, you can earn up to 220K dollars with an experience of 7+ years. And for a VP, Vice President Product Management, you need to basically have basically more than 10 years of experience, and you can earn up to $211,000. And then basically you can go to the chief product officer's role, and you can earn up to $300K, and you need to have more than 10-12 years of experience. Now, these are the numbers which you can see on the screen here, right? But let's also, Suryansh, maybe check real time what are the openings also, right, for these
Makes
positions.
sense, Rasha. Maybe you can open LinkedIn and then you can have a quick check, because uh, LinkedIn is a platform which I believe almost everyone uses in professionally.
Sure. LinkedIn, and I think maybe we can check out more platforms, but let's start with LinkedIn. Just maybe quickly search for a product manager role and go to jobs here. I think jobs are already visible. I'll click on jobs, and we can see as of today, we have 2000+ result, right?
That's right.
Also from companies starting from Google, Microsoft, Adobe, Swiggy.
And based on your location, it's showing only for India. But we have a global audience over here. So yes, the opportunities could be
for worldwide.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's great. As we see
38,000+ almost. Awesome. So these are the real-time numbers as of today. You can see openings for a product manager role. And
Rasha, I would like to add one more part. Many a times these jobs, let's say many of the learners would feel that these jobs could be centric to certain geographical locations, right? But the good part, learners, I'll tell you from my experience, when I was in Bangalore, many of my, let's say, network people who used to live in my society, or whom I got to know from different conferences, they would work for Wells Fargo, they would work for SAP, and they would work remotely. They would work for IBM, they would work remotely. because these kind of job roles can be done remotely as well. So you don't need to be in that geographical location to work. If you're seeing that 38,000 and you feel that enough job opportunities may not be there in your geographical location, so remote working for a product manager is pretty common.
Mhm. And also similarly, again, like Dice is also one of the platforms. I think mostly you will be able to see jobs in the US. I saw a message here that the PM earns less than the actor, as well as like I think might be some typo or something there. I'll just check once I go back to the slide. But let's quickly check it on the dice.com as well. Let's see the real-time jobs. This mostly might be global or in the US region. Let's see how many jobs are there today as per today. Yeah, I think here also there are 2000 plus jobs. As you can see, it's ranging from a normal product manager, technical product manager, which we have already covered, and going to a senior product manager 1 and 2 companies like Randstad Digital, and these are the companies which are hiring again, like top companies which are hiring as well. So yeah, this is just to give an example. And going back to the slide, I think might be a mistypo here. So sorry for that. So we know that you are interested in product management and you're curious about it. You're here because you want to pursue it. You are thinking about it. So what exactly is stopping you from becoming a product manager here? So I'm just launching a quick poll here. This one is a multiple choice poll, and you can select multiple options because there can be multiple concerns, right, when it comes to pursuing a career in product management or becoming an expert in product management. So this poll is to understand quickly, now that we have covered the career path and the breakdown of a product manager's role, the skills, the salaries, the structure here, and what are the responsibilities. So what exactly is stopping you from becoming a product manager? So I'm just quickly going to read out these options. As I can see, for you folks have already started responding to it. So the first one here is, I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. Second one, I don't have the practical exposure. I need to become job ready. And the third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And the fourth one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. And if these options do not cover your concern, the Q&A box is open for you. So we already have started getting some good, interesting questions here, which we'll be addressing, towards the end in the Q&A part of the session. If time allows, the experts will try to address it in between. But if not, just have a little patience, but keep the questions coming. Yeah. I see most of you have responded, but let's give it 10-15 seconds more for all other folks who are responding. Again, this one is a multiple choice board, so that here you can select multiple options here. And folks who are watching us live on our YouTube channel, you can also let us know your concerns or questions from this poll, or apart from this poll on the YouTube live chat box. We also will be looking into the chat box as well. So, yeah. Awesome. Last 5 seconds for the poll. What's stopping you from becoming an expert product manager? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and share the results with you folks and our experts. Let's see what have you voted for. 69% of the votes have gone for, I don't have the practical exposure to, I need to become job ready. And 26% is for, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. And 33% is for, I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. And 18% is for, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And moving on to the program introduction here. So we would like to introduce you to the Product Management Professional Program by UC San Diego. So maybe Nathan, you can go ahead and introduce us to the program.
Sure. So a lot of what we talked about and Suryansh has covered is the career path for product managers, and I've seen questions come into the Q&A about how do I get into a product management role, whether I have some experience or none experience, or maybe I'm in a different industry and need to transition. I don't have tech skills. I do have tech skills, but I don't have this. I don't have that. Well, this product management professional program, it's comprehensive in its curriculum. And so it covers a lot of those skills that you may be currently missing, so that once you learn them, now you're more qualified to pursue that product management job. And we'll cover in more detail what is included within the curriculum. But not only is it comprehensive in its curriculum and its knowledge, going everywhere from what is product management to, the specific tools that you'll use, but you're going to learn hands-on via case studies, some product teardowns, you have a capstone exercise. This is all practical knowledge. It's not just theoretical. So not only do you get the knowledge, but you're going to get some experience going through it so that when you do apply for that job, again, it's not just, hey, I have some theoretical knowledge. You've actually done some actual product management work. It is all live online or asynchronous online. It's a mix of both. It is instructor-led, so you'll have lots of opportunities to work with highly experienced product managers such as Suryansh, who teach the course, and learn from them, what works and what doesn't work. And then given that it is an online course, it is a lot more flexible for you to take it while you're doing whatever you need to do, whether that's family or your current job or something like that. So it is, because it is comprehensive, it also is a pretty thorough and long course. So it can take approximately 8 months with 10 to 15 hours per week to complete. So that is one thing to consider as you look to make the commitment to take on this course.
Nathan, I would like to add just one more point. Rasha, if it's fine. Learners, Nathan mentioned about, the instructor and making these sessions, learning sessions, pretty interactive. The reason I tell you this is because I myself conduct two parts of the particular course itself, which we run. At the same time, I conduct these mentoring sessions. I like to tell you, whatever you've seen or whatever you've heard of management sessions, wherein the trainer or the faculty is acting as a facilitator and the discussion revolves around your learning, that's exactly how I personally conduct all my sessions. So a session that would cover Balsamic, which I personally take, has around 30 to 40 minutes of solid discussions. Okay, what do you think this is? Where do you think it will be used? Okay, you think this is being used over here? Then tell me, where do you think it can't be used? Once all learners are thorough with the concepts, then learners, it is not me who's going to show them on the screen that, this is Balsamic, you do this. No, you all are grown up. So what I do is I give them the link for Balsamic. I said it's your tool. Now do as I'm saying. Open this. Once you have logged in, great. I'll teach you some basics, and that too you will be screen sharing and doing it. I'll not be the one. And once that is done, then I start giving you live problems. I'll open WhatsApp for you and then say, make this WhatsApp live on Balsamic on your own. So the sessions learners are all live, interactive, and hands-on experience. I can tell you specifically for the tools part, because that's how I conduct my sessions. Sorry, Nathan, I added more time to yours, but just I thought of telling this. Thanks, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Nathan and Suryansh, for introducing us to the program. Now moving on to the UC San Diego advantage. So maybe you can share your comment, Nathan.
Sure. So for some of you, you may not be aware of UC San Diego. It is one of the 10 campuses within the University of California University System, which is a public university. One of the top public universities in the United States, and several of the campuses, including UC San Diego, have a heavy research focus. UC San Diego itself has been ranked #1 among Golden Age universities by Times Higher Education, which just means founded since the end of World War II, so since 1945. The Division of Extended Studies, where I'm based, is the outward-facing arm of the university. So we provide continuing and professional education to the community who are looking to, level up their skills for either personal reasons or professional reasons. They want to start a new career path. They want to get a promotion. They need some additional training. We're here to provide that. You can enroll in courses a la carte. You don't have to enroll in a full-blown degree program, whether that's a bachelor's or a master's or a PhD or something like that. So we are the community-facing arm of the university. And within extended studies, we are almost as large as the degree part of the university itself. So UC San Diego has approximately 40,000 degree students. The Division of Extended Studies, and that number down at the bottom is a little bit old. We also have 40,000 students with nearly 100,000 enrollments each year. So we're very large. We have over 4,000 courses that include over 100 different certificate programs. We have over 1,500 experienced instructors, people like Suryansh, who come from a practical, hands-on experience background. It's not just purely academic. They do cover the academic and theoretical knowledge, but they also bring that real-world experience to the classroom as well, so that you really can hit the ground running once you finish your course. So how is UC San Diego appropriate for this course? Well, as part of that research focus, we do over $2 billion or almost $2 billion in research every year here at UC San Diego. And that leads to a lot of new technology development and oftentimes many new products and new startups. So we have over 1,000 startups that have come out of UC San Diego. Some are based around technologies that we've developed here. Some are people who got their degree, such as Nick Woodman, who went on later to found GoPro later. Qualcomm was founded by Erwin Jacobs, who was a professor here at UC San Diego before he went on to start the company. So we have a long tradition of creating new technologies and new products, and we develop infrastructure in order to support that. So skills that you would learn in this course, such as customer discovery and design thinking and developing prototypes, this is all stuff that also happens here at UC San Diego as the new technologies come from the lab and transition into something that might be viable in the marketplace.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for taking us through the UC San Diego advantage here. Then we also have global leaders as program advisors. I think you've already talked about it.
Yeah, just briefly. So in addition to the instructors, there are also opportunities through these masterclass webinars where experienced people such as Nick Caceres, shown here, will bring in a topic to teach for about 90 minutes. And again, they're sharing their hands-on real-world practical knowledge with you so that you can come out of the program more highly prepared than the whoever you're competing against for that new job position. So again, it's a benefit to the program that we have not only experienced instructors, but also these advisors who lend their time to help you establish your career.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for shedding some light on that. And moving on, who are the folks who are eligible for taking up the program? So quickly taking you through the eligibility and prerequisites of the program. You need to have a bachelor's degree in any background and willingness to advance in your professional journey, and 2+ years of work experience is preferred, but it is not compulsory. But obviously any kind of experience does act as an advantage, right? If you don't have it, that's also okay. So you can still take up this program. Now, progressing to the next slide, how exactly this program by UC San Diego prepares you, starting with the learning part of the program. So Suryansh, if we can take us through how exactly this program by UC San Diego builds the product management skills step by step, starting with the induction session, which happens for the product management program from Simplilearn, and then moving on to the learning path here.
Thank you so much, Rasha. Learners, let me just have a look at this particular slide. This says that first you get something known as an introductory session for product management. Now, learners, get one thing very clear, that all of us are pretty aware that you all come from diverse backgrounds, right? Which means that some of you may have tech knowledge, some of you may not have tech knowledge, and some of you could be even, let's say, could be working from finance, could be working for hardware. Therefore, the session or the course begins with, let's say, pretty simple topics, which could be something known as induction session for our product management. What are the things essentials for our product management, wherein you would be covered what exactly your role will be. Let's say you will be told you'll be working with 4-5 teams, you'll be working with, it is more of a people's management job, it is 90-80% communication, you will be creating products. Pretty easy and good for everyone to understand. Learners, after this, we begin with something known as user experience for product managers. Now, learners, observe one thing very carefully. Today, as you open LinkedIn, or maybe as you open, if you just try it now, as you open WhatsApp, or maybe you open any food tech delivery, you will see that first, there are lots and lots of circles. For example, on WhatsApp, if you have an iPhone, you will see the top right corner plus option over here. That is also a circle, which is for a new chat or a new group. Now, when you open Instagram, you'll see option for stories that are also for circle, right? Now, this couldn't be a coincidence that everyone thought, let's keep circles. There could have been some logic behind it, right? Now, as a product manager, you must be aware what shape to take, or let's say if you're creating something, how would the user journey be? Or how would the user experience be? For example, again, if you open LinkedIn, you have an option of apply for jobs. So where should the option for apply for a job be there? Or where should be an option to add a post? That's how you start now getting in the shoes of what we call as hard skills for a product manager, which begin with user experience. Once you are aware of, let's say, what exactly is the job of a user experience and what exactly or how exactly you interact with the UI/UX expert, you start beginning with product designs. Now, the reason why I tell you begin with product designs, because you will be given live examples. I'll tell you one example. Let's say when iPod, please enter a yes or no in the chat box. Do you remember iPod? Because this is one common study case study that we take while we are delivering this course. Anyone remember iPod, that small cute looking gadget which had this nice roundabout at the center? Yes or no? The first version of iPod failed. The reason was they designed it in such a way that it would work only with Mac, not with Windows. So Steve Jobs thought that, hey, if people are buying iPod, they would definitely buy Mac, but the price difference is huge, right? That didn't work out. So the next version of iPod worked because it was compatible with Windows. So these kind of design related concepts we start covering. And then of course we go to product marketing. Now learners, these two parts are, let's say, extremes. Software development is more of tech, right? And product marketing could be more of MBA related. That's where your diverse background comes in the picture. For example, you're from sales background, so understanding product marketing would be easy for you because you already know how customers or how users respond, be it any product. You have some experience, but as an engineer, if you're joining, you may not have an experience in marketing or sales, right? So that's where you'll get more advantage when we are going ahead with product marketing. At the same time, learners, look at this particular part, which I'm specifically highlighting, because this is where not majority, all of my career mentoring sessions revolve about. Now, learners, honestly tell me in the chat box, yes or no. If I ask you, do you have any tech knowledge? As in, do you know coding, databases, UI, UX design? No, right? Go ahead. Just be honest and I'll help you out why I'm asking specifically this question. Now, remember, learners, whenever I begin my session, the first thing that I ask is, learners, tell me about your background, because that's how I can have the level set. So now, if you're typing no, don't think that we're going to make you an engineer. It's not coding, it's not tech. Therefore, it is teaching you how to talk to tech people. Let's say if someone from the tech team says that we'll not be able to do this in MVP 1, we need to shift it to MVP 2. So now that time you shouldn't be asking, hey, I got it, but exactly what is MVP? I'm not aware of it. Right. So we don't let you be in that situation. That's the reason we give you basics of understanding tech. We give you basics of talking to a tech team. We give you basics of converting a user's requirement so that a technical guy can understand. That's the reason it says introduction to software development. And then of course the most favorite part of mine, because it is all hands on, which is prominent product management tools. Learners, I personally teach Google Analytics. Again, complete hands on, no theory, nothing. What I'll do is I'll just simply give you the access to Google Analytics and play around. I'll ask you questions, you'll need to figure out how things work. I'll give you a, let's say, WhatsApp example, and I'll ask you to open Balsamic and create a WhatsApp on your own right now, even if you're using it for the first time. And believe me, it's fun. It's easy, it's fun, and you're going to use it on a daily basis. Next, I'll ask you, one more thing. Rasha, let's see how many of these learners can, remember this. Learners, have you seen these, tech products which say that, hey, you can use it free for the first 3 days, and after that, you need to pay for it, right? Just type yes or no. Have you heard of or have you used these products, right? Thanks, Vain. Thanks, Divya. Right, lots of these products, right? Now, learners, I'll also be teaching you in mixed panel. That's what I teach. How do you track number of users or how active were your users when you offered it for free, and the moment you charge fees, have they are they running away or are they still there? So we give these kind of, what do you say, trainings that you would be using on the job as a product manager. Because I personally take this, I can tell you that's what it's a part of curriculum which I only created for the other one. So, and once you have done, once you're completed, let's say you're clear with, what exactly the job roles and skill sets are needed, it's time for the test learners, which I will cover in much detail as we go, which is the capstone project. Rasha, I'll take that up separately now after you've explained the electives because that requires special attention. You can take over now, Rasha.
Sure. Talking about the electives, we have master classes by UC San Diego Division of Extended Studies. We have product management master classes by industry experts you get access to. And we also have product tear down sessions, which is a very interesting, elective, and also AI powered product management. So these electives come as a part of the program, but they're optional. It is up to you if you want to take them up. I'll also quickly show you the learning path, the learning environment from Simplilearn in the upcoming slide. What exactly happens when you take up the program. But before that, let's quickly also cover, what are the product management tools which are covered in the program, which actually help them become, this.
Sure, sure. Thanks, Rasha. Learners, Balsamic, I think everyone is aware of Microsoft PowerPoint. If you're aware of Microsoft PowerPoint, you will find Balsamic pretty easy. And I'll tell you, it is the easiest tool. It is the easiest tool present in this particular image. Then we'll go to Jira. Pretty much fun. I'll also be teaching you how to automate things in Jira. Therefore, whatever sessions we have, we begin with very basic so that everyone can get it. And once everyone comes on the same page, we go ahead with advanced features like the one that I told you how to track when it's free and when it's paid, or how to track, let's say, when you are not there, how is Jira automation helping you to track your product development? And this is something that, recently only we did. I'll also be showing how Mixpanel is integrated live with the website. So we cover these kind of concepts, and these tools are day in and day in. These tools will be your bread and butter. Over to you, Rasha. And just one more thing, learners. Rasha mentioned one of the electives in the last slide, which was AI powered product management. Don't believe that I'll be teaching you how to use Chat GPT or how. Again, no. I'll be giving you a scenario. So this particular course, this particular elective, Rasha, has got 150 or 120 kind of situations that I have prepared, and I'll be showing you few of them how to solve using ChatGPT, but majority of them I'll be giving it to you, and you have to use AI tools to solve it on your own. So don't feel that it's pretty basic, simple. I'll be taught how to use ChatGPT and all. Everyone is aware, everyone knows how to do it. But I'll be giving you situations and making you solve those situations using these AI tools. So again, it's all application, practical oriented, what you're going to face in the job. Over to you, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking us through these tools. And also, I think you've already talked about the next slide is about
Yes,
the AI
yes.
powered
So
product management.
we'll covering Chat GPT, Google Bard, GenCraft, and it's fun, learners, especially the GenCraft part. We make real life UI UX designs using GenCraft when we have this AI kind of a session. Over to you, Rasha.
Yeah, and then we have the projects, right? I think projects which you cover. So first of all, what exactly are these capstone projects? And when we did that poll also, right, what exactly is stopping them from becoming an
Great, great.
so
Because
they
they mentioned about the
yeah,
practical knowledge, right?
practical
Now,
knowledge.
learners, I'll not ask this question because I've already got a hint of it. Many of us over here feel that, Suryansh, everything is fine, but I don't have a practical knowledge to even apply for a product manager's role. Right? Today, if I apply for a product manager's role, I'm from finance background, nobody's gonna consider me. Am I right, learners? Yes or no? Just type yes in the chat box, correct? I'm pretty much sure many of you would be thinking this, that Suryansh, no practical knowledge, no prior practical experience. How do you push me as a product manager for a job, right? You're showing me 38,000 jobs, but I am not capable of it. Learners, this is one question or one problem that we face when I am taking care of the careers mentoring sessions with learners who have enrolled. Now, remember this one thing. It is accepted that you have this kind of a problem because you're not from this background. What we do is we shape these capstone projects. Now, what happens in a capstone project? There are 5 or 6 of them, and they cover all big names: Nike, Netflix, Tesla, Instagram, Facebook, Meta. Now, I can tell you, these capstones have been designed, learners, in such a way that whatever you have studied in your product management journey will be implemented. And the best part is they will be reviewed as well. So it's not that you have created a capstone, you have submitted it, you get the certificate and job's done. No. Your capstone gets ready, you submit it, there is a review that happens of the capstone. So you get feedback as well. Now, consider this, that let's say I give you a challenge of having a Nike smart shoe, or I give you a challenge of having, let's say, people who are not active on Netflix, make them active. Or let's say if I want you to improve the story experience on Instagram. These are some problem statements of the capstone projects. When you solve them and you put them in your resume learners, we shape it in such a way that you don't come out to be as 100% amateur product manager. We make your resume in such a way that there are chances you clear the screening of resume and you're able to speak in the interview what all work you have done. Let's say, Rasha, today I'm taking your interview and Rasha is saying that, hey, Suryansh, actually I'm just switching for the product manager's roles and I don't have any experience. So I might be a little hesitant in taking Rasha, that she's quite new to this role. The other thing is Rasha can say, hi Suryansh, thank you so much for this interview. Before we begin, can I quickly share my screen and show you what all work I've done as a product manager? The moment I hear that, okay, she's showing me some live projects, and then Rasha shows that, hey, Suryansh, have a look at this. This is a smart shoe for Nike that I created. This is how Netflix can make inactive users active. This is how the story viewing experience can get better on Instagram. Now I have something in mind that Rasha knows how to, let's say, make or use product managers tools. Perfect. One tick done. Rasha knows how to understand problem statement and how to use these tools to solve that problem statement. But done. Then I'll ask Rasha, okay, Rasha, tell me more about your background, so on and so forth. But 40 to 50% of the battle, Rasha has already won because she has set a, let's say, a mindset that she has knowledge of product management rather than saying, I'm pretty new. So capstones learners will be your stepping stone for your career transformation or entering as a product manager. Over to you, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking us through the projects here and how exactly they help the learner. Now, quickly taking you through the learner outcomes here. And interestingly, the previous classes have consisted of learners who have come from world-class organizations like Accenture, TCS, Infosys, IBM, Amazon, Cognizant, Dell, just to name a few of them among thousands of them. I think when we were showing you the jobs which are available in the market, it comes with a lot of industries there. Not only these, but yeah, these are just a good example of diverse industries here. Organizations here, and also world-class, basically diverse industries here from IT, computer software, internet, financial services, retail, and banking. I can see a lot of questions in the Q&A box, which basically are, I come from this field, and how do I transition to a product manager field? Or I have already transitioned, but I'm finding it hard to understand, what exactly, how do I basically collaborate with the tech folks here. We'll be addressing those questions. But moving on to the next slide, talking about the program outcomes, just to sum everything up. So you basically get the foundational experience here. You get to master product management principles and methodologies. Also strategic initiatives. You get to learn effective problem solving and roadmap management from Harvard Insights. Also, data-driven excellence, utilize analytics, metrics, customer feedback for informed decision-making, and AI integration and tool proficiency, which already Suryansh has talked about how we basically have this AI-powered integration in the electives, which actually help you master tools like Google Analytics, Figma, Zira, and how you can utilize AI in that integration, and also real-world impact. You get to apply your skills in a collaborative teamwork and generative AI to solve industry-relevant problems in capstone projects. We have covered the capstone projects here as well. Now, I'll be quickly taking you through the online learning management system of the program. So we have already covered what exactly the learning path of the program looks like, what are the electives, what are the caption projects which are available, which actually helps you build that portfolio. So this is the learning management system of Simplilearn. So once you take up the program, this is exactly how it looks like. You can see this is for the product management professional program by UC San Diego. Induction happens here. We have already covered these things. And I think one of the concerns when we asked you what exactly is stopping you from becoming a product manager, one of the concerns was also that, I wouldn't want to learn from pre-recorded videos only. So for that, we actually have a maximum of live classes. And the self-learning videos are there, but they actually help you prepare, for the basics before the live classes or even after that. So there's a mix of it, and you also get to basically work on your portfolio and other basically marketing tools here with basically all caption projects here. Let me just quickly open maybe one of them and see if it's accessible because the current cohort is completely filled. And the upcoming one is, I think, next one. So let's see if we will be able to view the self-learning videos. I'll just quickly play it for you so you will have an idea. So let me just maybe play any of the prototype builds here. Let me play it from here. I'll just play it for a minute or so just to give you an idea what exactly happens in the self-learning videos. Yep. This is basically a course and you can start learning. Basically, this is for building prototypes. And then we have also a live class section here where you will be able to see the available classes in this section. You can see it right now because the current cohort is filled. It's already ongoing and the upcoming one is next one. So this is how you will be seeing the available classes. And also as this is a global program, you will be seeing the timings which are available for all regions, and keeping in mind that. And also the classes you opt for will be visible here and the ones you've already opted for will be visible here in case you want to go through it again. And similarly for the electives as well, we have already covered the electives. These are the electives which are accessible to you. They also have a combination of live classes and self-learning videos. You can check out the AI-powered product management here, which we have already covered. And these are optional, but it is up to you if you want to take it up. We don't charge anything extra for that. Also, you need to basically pass at least 2 course end projects from 2 different courses and complete at least 65% of the program to unlock the certificate. Now, how exactly the certificate looks like, I'll take you through that. But before that, we also have a help section. In case you have any questions, you can just go and basically to the help section and drop us a message here, and someone will get in touch with you, within few minutes. It can be anything about the certificate, about the exam, about the live classes, any issues you might be facing with the learning environment from Simplilearn. Now, just quickly going back to the program page here. In case you want to go and check out and download the syllabus as well, I'll just share the link towards the program as well with you. Just allow me a minute. I'll just quickly take you through the program page. And this is how the certificate of the program looks like. This is by UC San Diego, Division of Extended Studies. Your name will be here and the program name, Product Management Professional Program, will be here. And it will be accredited by UC San Diego. You can see the certificate here. And another certificate will be certified from Simplilearn. You can see a similar details here as well. And this will be accredited by Simplilearn here. So you can see all the details here in the program page, all the learning paths which we have already covered. You can go and download the syllabus using this link, which I'm going to share now on the chat. So I'm just quickly sharing that on the chat and going back to the slides because I know that we have extended the session time by a bit. Just to address all of your questions as well, doubts you might have, and we have more questions in the Q&A box which we'll be addressing soon. So just to sum it up, you'll be getting a basically completion certificate here, which I've already basically shared. And the convocation will be happening online. So that makes it very interesting because not only you can invite your closest friends or relatives, but also your far relatives and friends. That makes it very special, right? And so yeah, and also I think there were a lot of questions if I will be getting job assist services from Simplilearn. Will this program provide me that? So I'll just quickly share that about you. So for Indian region learners, we have IM Jobs Pro, a membership of 6 months for free. And in that you get resume building assistance where you get assigned an SME who works with you in creating the resume for a particular job skill or skill set or job role you're applying for. And there is continuous feedback which happens from a week or two, and it is basically delivered to you, I think, in 2 weeks of time. And similarly, we have interview preparation, basically expert as well, who actually helps you similarly for preparing for an interview based on the skill set or job role you're applying for, with continuous feedback sessions. And with this IM Pro membership, you also get spotlight on IM jobs for highlighting your profile to recruiters. So this is the Simplilearn's Job Assist program, which helps you with your job search. And also the top companies will be hiring product management professionals. I think we have already seen it, but just to summarize, Amazon, LinkedIn, Microsoft, Google, Walmart, Facebook, IBM, Oracle, Samsung, being one of the top companies here. Just to name a few of them. So with this, we would like to conclude, and we would love to know, are you interested in enrolling into the product management professional program by UC San Diego? And you can share your response as yes on the poll, which is quickly launched right now. And folks who are watching us on YouTube Live, you can also share your response. I see a few yeses coming there as well. So on the YouTube Live chat box, you can click on the link which you can see on the top, which starts with product management, and it will take you to the same program page which I have just quickly shown about the program. And you can share your interest towards enrollment by going to the enrollment part of the page and share your details. And with the similar flow, the learning consultants from Simplilearn will reach out to you after this interest, and they will take you through a much more detailed walkthrough of the program, address any questions you might have. We will also try to address any questions. So this is a really good time to also put down your questions, any questions you might have about the program or a product management career in general. So let's give it like 10-15 seconds more. Also, Nathan, Suryansh, I know that we have exceeded the time, by 10 minutes. We might take 5 more minutes or so, 5-10 minutes or so. It's that.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's okay for me.
So maybe Suryansh, if you want, you can start addressing questions as well in the Q&A box, or we can wait for the Q&A part, as you wish.
Let's start with some of the questions from the Q&A box, right? Let's see. Minimum experience, but different vertical. All right. What I see, learners, I think the first question, how do I get into this field if we already have some experience, but in a different support vertical for your age? All right, let's generalize it, saying that you're from a different background with some experience and you would like to transition to a product manager's role, right? Now, learners, one way is you directly learn on your own and apply, let's say, start getting job. That's one way. The other way is when you go through a professional certification, first thing you get some kind of a credibility which matters as you apply, because your resume in any case will get screened. Now, let's say you're from a different background, you're from finance or you're from hardware or you're from customer service. With this kind of a background, if you apply on your own, may or may not get, the chances are pretty less. But what happens when you have a certification at the same point of time, you've got 5 or 6 capstones that you have solved on your own of big brand names, then you don't appear to be as 100% new to product manager's role. Therefore, the resume has a better chance of screening in, because going through 5 or 6 capstones, solving them, showing that you use the tools, showing that you know how to implement what are the problem statements and what kind of solution could be made, and then executing it, it carries a lot of weightage. I'll tell you one more example because I saw one more question similar to this. Someone is saying, I'm from sales, right? I'm from finance. Then again, capstones is fine, but why would anyone take me? You know what, learners? When you're from a different background, let's say you're from finance, you're from marketing, you have an added advantage which tech people don't have. Because I was not a, let's say, an engineer when I went, right? I went there from my university. Now, learners, the reason why it is advantageous to go from a domain, for example, finance or sales, is you will not only be going as a product manager, you will be also going as a subject matter expert in whatever domain you are in. So let's say today Accenture hires Detroit, or let's say Accenture hires, we have this hobo over here, and they are from, let's say, finance background, right? And they're working in a bank. Let's say they're working in retail banking, loans, or could be, let's say, relationship managers working in retail banking. Now, they know what is called the domain knowledge of banking. They know of banking products. They know the problems customers face. They know how users interact with their products, and they know the requirements very well. Now, what happens? Companies like Accenture will push Detroit or Hobo to clients. Hey, you know what? He's a product manager. He knows how to work with tech teams. Plus, he has got 5 years of banking experience. This, learners, adds on to your advantage, and you command a higher CTC, because you're an expert in that field and you're going as a product manager for a client from a, let's say, well-known established services company like Accenture or Deloitte. Therefore, your domain knowledge comes as your selling point. Because again, I would like to say, it is not a tech job, it is not a coding development job. It is more of involving variety of domains, variety of teams, and you have that capability because you are from that domain. So if an engineer asks you a question, you can tell that no, this is not the priority, because this is something users don't even think about using. Therefore, let us prioritize this. I will talk to the client. So if a retail bank, let's say Bank of America, would like to have, AI enabled system for loan disbursement, and it starts talking about of, let's say, MCLR, marginal cost of lending rate, you're not sitting blankly at him and what are you saying? You know what these terms are. So you will be able to talk to the client better. That's the reason your domain or your different background comes advantages. Now someone is saying is product manager same, and someone also asked, Rasha, is business analyst BA or product manager same? I'll tell you the quick differences, learners. Business analyst or a BA primarily talks to the client and gets the job done by the tech team. His work revolving around other parameters of finance, marketing, recruitment, budgeting, or let's say, go to market strategies. He is not actively involved because he is solely hired to create a tech product that could be launched in the market, that could be developed by a tech team. And our friend over here, who is the client, he does not have time to talk to the tech team and explain. He'll tell you, okay, Rasha, I need this, go and explain to the tech team and get it done. So you go ahead, and that's when the BA role comes in. The project manager is more of kind of a, let's say, generic role wherein he's handling a team for, let's say, variety of purposes. That could be, it could be as easy as deployment of, let's say, when we talk of an industry related to, let's talk in tech itself, it could be, let's say, moving or transitioning to a different tool. That could be simply be a project, or that could be, for example, one small thing that we did in Accenture was migrate some of our tools to another platform. So project manager and product managers are different, because as a product manager, tech part comes more useful and comes more involved. In terms of projects, this could be anything related from a real estate project to any other project. Therefore, because of the tech concept, product manager's role is different.
Yeah,
Just
I would also
Yeah,
maybe
Nathan, go ahead.
add, the way I look at project management is also a framework for organizing how you would approach, whatever the you're working on might be. So how do you organize yourself, set some goals, some timelines, you develop that Gantt chart, you have that scope of work laid out, and it's all part of that methodology around product management. So a product manager may use project management tools and approaches in order to develop the product, if that makes any sense. So it's part of job, part also a approach and methodology, if that makes any sense.
Thanks, Nathan. I'll just see. B and PM we have
So
covered.
sorry
Project.
to interrupt you, Suryansh. We
Yeah.
have to end the poll now. We can take questions in the Q&A part. We have already exceeded time, so I'm just ending the poll now. Last 5 seconds for the poll here, folks. So would you like to enroll into the product management professional program by UC San Diego? You can share interest as yes on the poll. And the last 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for sharing interest towards enrollment. I saw a lot of you have shared your interest. Let me just quickly take you through the enrollment steps, and then we will move on to the Q&A part of the session. Again, a really good time to go and put on your questions right now. So 3 simple, easy steps you'll have to follow for enrolling into the program. This is something what Simplilearn's learning consultants will also be taking you through. So the step 1 here is you'll have to submit an application. You'll have to apply at askus@simplilearn.net. And the step 2 here is your application will be going for review based on the eligibility and prerequisites conditions we have here for taking up the program. And based on that, the learning consultants from Simplilearn will be reaching out to you with the admissions offer. So this is just to give you an overview what exactly is going to happen now that you have shared interest. So you're aware what's going to happen. And also talking about the next upcoming cohort. So the introductory classes for the next cohort is happening on 7th of June. And also the classes are starting on 15th of June. This is the closest cohort and it is already filled. If you want to basically join immediately for this cohort, you can join. And or you can basically nudge this to the learning consultants for the upcoming cohorts which you might feel you're comfortable joining. Also, the fee for US candidates here is 5,000 USD dollars, and for Indian candidates here is 1,99,999 INR including GST. I know a lot of you have joined from different countries, so for that what I've done is I've shared the link towards the program. When you open it in your region, you will be able to see the cohort and the program fee here. And also we have installment and EMI options also available. In case you're looking for such options, you should be able to see that on the link which I've shared as well. but you can also nudge this to the learning consultants of Simplilearn, and they will help you out with how you can approach the installment payment options for your own region. And even after the webinar, if you have any questions, you can still reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. I'll share that email ID on the chat. But quickly moving on to the Q&A part of the session, I think Suryansh and Nathan, I think you have already started addressing a lot of these questions. So maybe let's quickly, I see a lot of common questions as well. So maybe let's quickly sum it up and address these questions, which definitely will help them out.
Great. We'll do that quick. Thanks, Rasha. Now, let's say you've mentioned, I'll just quickly have a look and see how I can give answers to all of them. It says
Yeah,
program also covers, go ahead, Nathan, you're saying something. Go ahead.
there was one question about, does it cover life science products? And I would say the approach is agnostic to the industry by and large. However, life sciences, there's that heavy regulatory compliance piece. So that may, depending on what country and what regulatory regime you're dealing with, may be very specific knowledge to be aware of. So it would set you up for it, but you may need to really do a deeper dive into specific regulatory requirements.
Thanks, Nathan. I think someone has also mentioned something related to projects from manufacturing sectors. Now, learners, I'll add one more point over here, which I take up in my career mentoring sessions. What happens when I ask learners to complete their capstones as per the course? Many a times it comes out that, let's say we have got Saravan who is asking for life science. That could be a possibility, Nathan, that he's from pharma background, right? And he's now transitioning towards, let's say, the product management role. And we have got Sandra who is from manufacturing or from any other background. So what I tell them is, create one more capstone. That should be the first capstone on your resume from your domain. So let's say you're looking at life science products. Let's say you're looking at a vaccination program of polio to be run all across India. Let's take this as an example. You're making a product for it. That's your problem statement. So now, keeping this problem statement in mind, you create a capstone project and you show it on your resume as the first one. In this way, it shows good domain knowledge, good implementation of product management skills in your domain, whatever you are from. These kind of things enhance your selection chances. Same thing goes for manufacturing. And someone has said that you have 20 years of techno functional experience. What would be the entry level job possibilities be? See, first thing, you will not be going as an entry level. Believe me, with 20 years of tech experience, you will not be going as a product owner, product manager's experience. You would directly be involved in some kind of a product manager or a senior product manager role, because you already have extensive experience of interaction with different teams. Initially, yes, you could be given some kind of, let's say, an initial 6 months or 8 months kind of a training. Again, it depends on the organization, on how you're performing. What if you're able to cope up well, because you will be commanding a higher CTC. That's how you'll be given a bigger responsibility within few months of your joining. What if we are stuck in the assignments? Will I get any help? Nathan, I think, what if we are stuck in the assignments? Anything you would like to add on top of it?
Well, one, you can always contact the instructor for more guidance. But then, as Rasha pointed out, there are support functions, help options for you to follow up on as well. So you're not just out there on your own. There are abilities for you to reach out and get some additional clarification or assistance.
All right, I think thanks, Nathan. Many of the learners are asking about certifications. I think certifications as a product manager, let's say if you're enrolling in this particular cohort or whatever course that we got to run now, that's going to be more than sufficient, because it has got a university, it has got Simplilearn, and it's got a good job assist program. So I don't think additional certifications, I think the rest of the things will be counted through your experience and the capstones that you solve. His product manager, I think we have covered this. SSPM jobs, I think recently transition with the what do I share, start learning on being tech fluent. Learners, when it comes to being tech fluent, so I can relate more when you talk of being tech fluent. I think different parts of this particular course cover different parts of tech. For example, it might cover agile, it might cover something related to databases, it might cover something related to coding. The only way you can get on, let's say, knowing this is by practicing more. Either you practice coding on your more, or see how your senior product managers are interacting. Not everything in tech will be needed in your team, right? Just get to know. For example, when I was working on Discover I, which was my tool, we were working, I don't even remember the programming language, but all thing that we need to know was the cloud, that we had to choose either AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure. So my area was, you take care of the programming coding part, I'll take care about the cloud platforms. So it depends really on what part of tech fluency you're focusing on, Karan. So don't focus on the entire tech stack. Just focus on things that you need to know. Nothing more than that. Mostly in local language, I think English would be a better one to understand, Pratik, because uh, your 90-80% job is about communication. I would rather suggest you that when you take up this course, be more interactive in the sessions. One thing that I ask my all learners when I'm conducting my tools and all, be interactive, because the more you speak up, the better answers and doubt clearings you will have from my end. So there's no running away from it. Heavy industries, as I already told, I think Amit, that your domain knowledge would come as handy when you will be pitched. So your ideal hiring prospects for you would be companies like Accenture, Deloitte, who would be pushing you as a SME product manager for the respective industries you belong. How to move from sales to PM role, I think the career path we've already seen through this particular course, wherein your capstones and all with the credibility of the course would help you transition better, and of course through career mentoring sessions. I think Rasha, we're good. Could you see if I've missed any questions, Rasha? Yes, I agree, Sandra, that lending job postings have a lesser rate. I completely agree. But at the same point of time, you have IIM jobs as well. Therefore, if you apply through both platforms, I personally done that. So I can tell you, you do get responses. We touched upon LinkedIn just for reference purposes because it's being used by everyone. So IIM jobs has a higher response rate, and LinkedIn, I can't say has no response, but yes, it has got much lesser response than IIM jobs. That's what I agree, Sandra. Rasha, over to you. Just see if I've missed any question, because I believe I've covered things. We'll
Uh,
not be covering project management over here, Santosh, PMP and all. We'll be sticking mainly with the product management role over here. Go ahead, Rasha.
Sure, I have just gone through the questions here. Even I have also addressed, I think program fee is something folks have questioned about. I've already shared that, but I've already shared the link as well on the chat in case you want to check it out. So I think with that will be concluding the session. Thank you so much,
That's great.
Nathan. Thank you so much, Suryansh, for taking us through this interesting career masterclass and the program review of the UC San Diego program. I think we saw a lot of interest towards enrollment, and I think we'll be seeing a lot of these folks in the upcoming cohorts of the program as well. Would you like to say something to them before we end the session?
Nathan, would you like to go ahead first?
Oh, just thank you for attending. Thanks for the excellent questions, and hopefully we see you enroll.
Sure. Thank you so much, learners. It's been a great interaction with you all. And my personal suggestion would be that whichever field you're from and you're looking for a career progression for a management related role, irrespective of which background you're from, I think this would be a good career transition, because I'm personally involved in this career, so I can tell you that. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Rasha. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you all. Bye bye.
For folks, please stay for the webinar certificate. You folks can leave. Thank you so much. Now for the webinar certificate, first of all, thank you so much for staying. We have extended the session time, I know. I'm just launching this poll, where you need to go and submit your full name to receive approval attendance for attending the webinar. So this is just launched. Quickly go and put down your full name in the poll which is launched for receiving the webinar certificate for attending this webinar. So I'll just give 15 seconds. So be quick because we have exceeded the time almost by 30 minutes. And so sorry for any inconvenience, caused due to the extension of the webinar. We just did it to address, all the questions we have from the folks here. I hope that helped. Also, even after the webinar, there will be a post-webinar survey. And it will have just one question. We just want to know how can we make our webinars better, any topic suggestions you might have, anything you might want to see in these webinars. So I actually look very closely to these suggestions you folks provide, and we come up with these interesting topics, so from the audience suggestion itself. So please do let us know. And yeah, after this poll, we'll be closing the session quickly. So last 5 seconds for the poll here. Running little tight on time. I'm so sorry, folks. So last 5 seconds for the webinar certificate poll, which is live right now. This is how you will receive the webinar certificate. And also you can share it on LinkedIn as well. You can share it with your network that you're attending such an interesting career masterclass from Simplilearn. And you can also tag the Simplilearn handle. If you want, you can tag our experts as well. So people also are already doing it. We are actually sharing their insights and using the certificates and sharing them with their network. and also connecting with similar-minded folks. And they're using the hashtag #SimplyGrow. So I've shared the link of the hashtag, and you will actually end up finding a lot of folks who are already sharing it, and go and connect with them, support them, and follow the hashtag as well. So yeah. You should receive the certificate within 24 to 48 hours and the recording link on a separate mail. So I'll end the poll now. Thank you so much. And now quickly would love to know how satisfied are you with this session. So I'm just launching a poll with, rating poll with options 1 to 5, and 5 being the highest, like you're extremely satisfied, you love the session. So you can rate us on the poll which is launched. And I'll give 10-15 seconds more for the poll, and we will end the session. So thank you so much, folks, for staying till the end. How was the session for you? You can let us know here on the chat, or also on the post-webinar survey, which will be launched once I end the sessions. Yeah, please do that. And thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. Or if you are joining us late, have a good night. Awesome. Let's give it a few more seconds. Last 10 seconds for the poll. How satisfied are you with the content of the session? The rating of the scale is from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest if you like the session. So you can give it a rating of 5 as well. I see one comment here on the chat. Excellent session from Wahid Safi. Thank you so much. And folks who are watching us live on our YouTube channel, even after this webinar is done, you can go and also share your interest towards enrollment. You can go to the description of this video, and on the top, you will see the link towards the program page. And similarly, you can follow the same approach and go and share your interest towards enrollment by sharing your fee details on the program page enrollment section. So please do that. Awesome. I'll be ending the poll now. Thank you so much. That is a really great response, by the way. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. We'll be ending the session now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.